he'll get more today, and we'll see what happens after today.
I'm talking to guys in the locker room. I think there's an expectation that he'll play just because he's Phillip Rivers, and that's what Phillip always does. Is that something you have to guard against because there's a chance he might not play?
Absolutely. That's why Kellen Clemens got reps yesterday, and Cordell is involved. So, we have to prepare both ways. But, yeah, we think he'll play, but, that's up to the doctors. That's not my decision.
A lot of other guys got held out yesterday. Any concern that some of those guys might not be ready for the weekend?
Hayes, he's still day-to-day with his injury. Chris McCain has a nice quad bruise. He's still day-to-day. So we'll see if those guys get better towards the end of the week, but it's possible they could be out.
What kind of work can Phillip get done during practice with the limited classification?
Well, he works in there with individual. He works in there in some team. He's taking some team reps. And so it's a normal type practice for him. It's just not as much.
Are you going full pads this week?
We're going full pads today. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Anthony, what has the defense done better in the last 4 games against the run than it was doing?
They've emphasized it. Our pass rushers are, they're unselfish. Those guys are playing tighter techniques. They're defending run first, pass second, which is hard to get some pass rushers to do. But, Gus and his staff, they've done a good job with that. And those guys are determined to stop the run. And they went up against the number 1 rush team last week, and I thought they did a hell of a job.
Was that, did you kind of see that after the Giants game? Was that sort of when that transition happened?
It was right around the Giants game. Yeah, we knew they would run the ball. We knew Oakland run the ball. At Denver. So I think in the last 4 weeks, those guys have stepped up in the rush defense, and they've done a better job, much better job.
Obviously, Deshaun pretty well. What do you have to do to be effective against him?
Yeah. He really is, and you have to, like I said, you have to get hatched to the ball with him because him one-on-one with someone in space, sometimes it's not fair. But the more hats we can get to the ball, the better chance we have of getting him down.
Talked to Gus last week about kind of the emotions that go into playing a former team. What's it like for you seeing these guys similar to him, where a lot of fans still over there, a lot of people you still care about, or
sure, yeah.
And I know in your mentality that means makes you want to.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Some of those guys call. We stay in touch. It'll be fun.
Did you put the blackout on this week, or are you still texting with guys over there?
No, we do that out. We'll wait until after the game to do that. Yeah.
Well, guys have dropped a lot of interceptions this year. Is there a way to work on that in practice, or is it hard to replicate kind of that moment in the game?
You can always improve, receiving the ball. That's a skill, and guys are working on that in practice. It's just in the games things speed up sometimes. You just can't get too anxious, to go make a play. You just got to let it happen. But we've caught a lot of balls this year too. But I agree, there have been a lot of drops.
In practice, is that getting them on the jugs machine, or?
I'd rather get him with the quarterback. In scout teams, we have our quarterbacks. If the look is not there, throw the ball to a defender so they can practice catching it and returning it.
You got a short week after this. Are you kind of bundling your practice prep also for the Cowboys at all this week?
Well, no, Cowboys not even in our thought process. We know we have a short week, and we prepare for that over the bye week. But no, it's all Buffalo this week.
So the prep work for the Cowboys, you did it during the bye week as well, anticipating that you're going to.
Absolutely, yes. And we'll be in here after the game Sunday night, getting ready for that one.
Coach, Bills expect Charles Clay to come back this week. What do you see from him?
He played last week, and he looked quick. He looked like Charles Clay. He can beat most safeties in this league in route running. He's a good blocker. When he's not on the field, they definitely miss him.
How do you prepare for Nathan Peterman, given that he's only thrown 10 passes in the league?
He's like any other quarterback. You go back, you watch him in preseason, watch him some in college. He's accurate. He anticipates well. He has a command for that offense. You can tell that in preseason. So, we prepare for him like anybody else.
You mentioned, the pass rushers kind of staying tighter and stuff like that to stop the run. Has the linebacker play improved?
The linebackers were probably played their best game last week, to be honest with you. They were downhill. They were making plays on the other side of the line of scrimmage. I think Denzel had a lot to do with that. When he's in that front seven, it just seems a little different group. His leadership, his spirit on the field, the whole nine. So it was good to have Denzel back in there. And Corey Tooman played pretty good last week.
Part of that is tackling is kind of an attitude, right? Like a willingness to kind of get. You've talked about that.
No doubt, it is.
Denzel's attitude towards that contagious a
Yeah, I think it is contagious, but I think also he helps the younger guys. Like I say, Corey's a little experienced in that. He helps settle guys down, what they can do their job better as well.
Does he also help guys to play faster because they can maybe take chances knowing he's right there next to them?
Absolutely, yeah, that's part of it, no doubt. When you have a guy on the field like that can make adjustments to the D line and help guys get a line. Anytime you can do something like that, I free a guy up to play more physical and faster.
I forget which game it was, but there was a game earlier this season where Darius Fallon had a big penalty. I think it was maybe a face mask or
Hands to the face.
Hands to the face.
Yeah.
He's been a guy this year that even from that has almost even played better since then. What do you like about him, and where have you seen him kind of grow a lot this year?
Just his penetration, his ability to make plays on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And he's a pretty good pass rusher as well. You watched him last week. He's quick coming off the ball. He's living in that backfield. And that causes backs, just check their feet and give guys more chances to catch him in the backfield. So I've been very pleased with Darius and his work, along with Corey and Mebane as well.
He's a two-way defensive tackle, you think, pass and run? That Darius is
I believe so, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Bit different, with the change in quarterbacks. But, the way we're going about it is we're making sure we're prepared for both. Just like any week, you always got to know the first guy and the second guy. Excuse me. I guess what's unique this week is really completely different styles. So it puts a strain on us that way a little bit, but it's been going good thus far.
Have you had a situation where you've had a quarterback change going into a game like this where it's a rookie, you've had to shift focus?
It's happened in the middle of a game. I remember when we were at Seattle, we were playing, or in Jacksonville actually, we played Washington, RG3, and then he went out and Kirk Cousins came in. So you have different dynamics, and that can always happen in a game. So, we'll see. I mean, we're preparing. We're really just looking at their tape and preparing for what we see. There's some different things that they did with Tyrod, and it's hard to determine are they going to do those same things with Peterman. So, but not right prior to a game like this. Sometimes it happens on Saturday, but we found out a little bit earlier.
How hard is it to prepare for Peterman being limited tape, play?
Right, and some of it was in 2 minutes. So you go back and you look at preseason, and what's the offense going to look like when he's in there? It's hard for us to determine that without knowing, some of his skill set. He's a guy that just came out, so our guys evaluate him. But until you really see him in action and see how the game flows, it's you're just going to have to be able to adjust.
That's about tape. You go back and look at preseason. Do you look at college tape, or is that totally different system?
Well, I think just the skill, if you don't feel like you have enough skill set, his ability to run, his ability to extend the play, is he more of a movement type passer, is he more drop back? Those things are what you're looking for, and then, you study the tape itself.
You guys defended the run well against Jacksonville. Obviously, Perryman helped being in there. What else did you see that was improved and has been improved in the last couple of weeks?
Well, first of all, our guys, we feel like up front are really straining. That's been really preached to them throughout, is about straining and not giving ground. And we've been taking a lot of time on just our fits and guys understanding it. Sometimes it happens. When you're learning a new defense, guys are trying to figure out things on the run a little bit. But I really credit the coaches and the players both because, it was a, concerted effort to really try to slow this down. And, we take part of practice now and just walk through fits and how we want everything played. And I think that part has helped. Now you're just building up experiences. You see a lot of the same plays, week after week.
Gus, do you know this could be a good defense against the run based on the way things looked in the preseason in the first 5 weeks?
Well, I think you go back to when I first came, I think they were pretty high versus the run. rating-wise. I think they were 10 or 11. So the ability to stop the run was there. And then as you went on, we gave up some plays in preseason, just misfits and not guys aligned right. And some of that, you're a little bit patient when they're learning, all the different sets and how they're supposed to line up and their alignments. That's really big in our defense. Those fundamental principles, alignment, stance, key, responsibility, technique, those things, because it's not like we're playing 30 different coverages and running 25 different blitzes. So it's almost like it's a precision league. We got to be really on it. We know how they're going to attack us, and then we got to be better than them.
Obviously much better the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's slowed down. Every week's different. And it's different threat this week with Shady than what we saw last week. So it's just a different dynamic every week. I remember when I first got in the NFL in 2006. I think I can't remember the game, but we played. It was Adrian Peterson. And I went in the linebacker meeting room and I said, listen, Brooks, you guys, this guy's a phenomenal back. I mean, we got to be on our job here. And then the next week it was another really good running back. And I said, this is another good running back. And they said, Gus, you're going to be saying this every week, in the NFL. And that's really what it feels like. We're facing good backs week after week. So, and different styles, really different styles. So that's the challenge.
There was some criticism about Trey when he made the second interception about getting up the field. What's the teaching there? What do you want him to do on that?
Well, I put that, some of that's on me. When you get on the sideline and before you go out on the field, you express the situation to the players. Hey, there's 3 timeouts, and if we get a turnover, sometimes you say, hey, make sure you take a knee. Or, go ahead and run it. Our whole thing, we talk to the defense week after week, is we're defined by our ability to get the ball and score. So that's their mindset going into it. And then in those situations, you got to say, hey, it's a change of mindset. Take a knee if we get an interception here. And I failed to give that to him. So when he went out there, he was more in the mode of, it's over. Almost take a knee mode. And, so that's just as much on me. I mean, obviously, to hold the ball out. We respect the ball, and that's not having respect for the ball. We understand that part of it. But just the mindset, it was a great teachable moment for our guys to say, hey, listen, we never have it. We never have it. And we have to understand the situation we're in and, play accordingly.
What do you like about Darius Phylon?
Just like I said earlier, he really strains. To me, I know Coach Giff is a guy that says, you know what, you just got to keep on him and keep on him and keep on him. And when you do that, he plays very well. Where, I look at it and I say, whatever you're doing, keep it going because he's playing pretty well. He's straining in there. He's got some short area quickness, too, that I think is showing up. And, he got a sack on the edge this year. So I think he gives us really good flexibility. I love the way he goes about his job and how he goes about his business. I think he's just becoming, I don't know if he was immature before or not. All I can tell you right now, he's playing like a true professional, very mature in the way he goes about it.
There have been a few dropped interceptions this season, especially with potential pick sixes. How do you coach that in practice? Are there difficulties trying to simulate that big moment?
Well, when you get your opportunity in practice, you got to capture it. And you got to take advantage of it. So, I've always been a believer that they come in bunches, and sometimes, those things happen. It's not like they're out there not trying to get it. It just, just repetition. And all those guys, they can all catch. They got really good hands. It's just sometimes in the moment, we just didn't take advantage of it. But those hurt a little bit. But, because you look at them, and those are big game-changing plays. But there's also a 3 technique gets reached, and they get an explosive run, and it makes it a first down. Those are just as big a plays in our mind.
Does it say something that they're getting to the position, though, to make those plays?
Yeah, it's a really, really good group now. I haven't been around a group when you put something in and they pick up on it so fast. And it really is great leadership on the back end. And, your coaches obviously give the information to them. But I give a lot of credit to the players. It's really, really a sharp group. And I think for us, or for me, it's careful not to put too much, just to keep us playing fast. Give them enough to keep them stimulated on things. But it's been a great, great group.
Do you feel comfortable giving Denzel more responsibilities now after what he showed in his
Yeah, I think going into last week, it was more, I think I talked to you about a snap count, how many plays he was getting and making sure we take care of him that way. But he's always been a guy that we can put a lot on, put a lot on to him as far as calls and things like that. Very sharp. Okay? All right, thank you.
Right.
So, Jahleel, what's the like for you? You're preparing early on one quarterback.
But what have you seen from him?
Which surprisingly is he can move the ball with his feet. He's not just a standstill statue back there at quarterback. He can move the ball with his feet. He's very accurate. You see, I think it was last week in the game, he came in for that drive and let him down to some points. So he has some good upsides. Obviously they believe in him and they can get the job done. And we'll see on Sunday.
How helpful is it to look at film of him in college, even though it's a different scheme?
I don't think that holds a lot of weight because college is the pros. It's a big difference. But like I said, he has all the intangibles to make all the throws. He can move with his feet. He's confident, and that's what we've seen on film so far.
In terms of the running game, Gus mentioned you go from one style with Fournette to a different style with Shady. How different is that for you as a player to go from one week one guy to the next? Or is that just kind of what it's like in the National Football League?
Yeah, that's kind of what it's like. We played a lot of good backs this year, but Shady, he's a top back in his league. He's shifty. He can make you miss in the phone booth. They get the ball to him outside of the backfield, swing routes or screens or whatever it may be. So I think we just got to get all 11 hats to the ball this week, and if we do that, we'll be fine corralling them.
You let 3-6. What's your approach these last 7 games?
Keep balling. It's the most important game because it's the next game. We can't dwell on the past. Buffalo obviously is going to feel sorry for us that we lost in a heartbreaking game last week in overtime. Just continue to play, take one game at a time, and we just continue to stack them up when we can.
Do you still believe postseason within reach?
Oh, for sure. For sure. You already know that.
There have been a few dropped interceptions this year. Mm-hmm. How do you rectify that in practice, and is it hard to translate that into a big moment in a game sometimes?
It's not hard, but obviously you got to make those plays when they're in front of you. You got to take advantage of your opportunity. I guess you could stay after practice, get on the jugs, and when you're in practice and you have a chance to make a play on the ball, you got to make a play.
How much did Denzel help being in there for the defense?
Denzel helped a lot. That's what he does. He brings a physical mindset to the defense. A great run stop linebacker, gets his nose in there, has a good feel for the ball, getting over top of backs, seeing guards pull and getting to the next available gap. That's a big piece in what allowed us to stop the run last week, and we're happy to have him back.
How much does it help you? Because I know you play a certain way. Mm-hmm. To have another guy in there that plays a certain way, does that give you more juice?
Yeah, we feed off each other. If he makes a big play in the backfield, he makes a good hit. That gets me excited. That gets him excited if I do as well. And not only just me, it's the whole defense. When you get out there and it's kind of the beginning of the game and you make that first tackle or that first hit and it gets you awake. So it's kind of a good momentum starter for us.